As the school year winds down, many students, teachers, and families take time to reflect on all that's changed in the past year. But in one northern Michigan community, the past 12 months have been some of the most painful they have ever experienced. In part one of this special report, 9 and 10's Bill Freilich went to Kingsley to talk with some of those affected by 3 teen suicides and to find out how the community is moving forward.
When the final bell rang last June, students walked the halls and walked out the door for summer. But the happy feet and sights set on sunny days ahead didn't last long. A dark day rolled over Kingsley.
Our first student took his own life the day after school got out. And that was tragic news, heartbreaking news.
Staff at Kingsley schools barely had a chance to catch their breath before it happened again.
As we're kind of thinking about what are we going to do for this next year, we had our second student take his own life the day before school started.
That second student was 14-year-old Caden Stone. Fresh from 8th grade graduation, Caden was just 1 day away from starting high school.
He played sports and, he'd play video games, but those weren't his passions. His passions, oddly enough, were politics, cultures, religion.
Suicide is the second leading cause of death among 10 to 34-year-olds, according to the CDC.
My son was a very intelligent kid. Some would say he was intellectually advanced. He had aspirations of going to an Ivy League school. He had a lot going for himself. And I only say all of that to make this point. It can appear on the exterior as like somebody has it all together, but you never really know what's going on in someone's mind, especially if they don't tell you.
In Kingsley, the statistics aren't as important as the students, families, and community that are affected. With counseling in place and special school and community events to raise awareness, Kingsley felt like they were getting a handle on things.
And then we had the third suicide.
3 lives lost in a town of just 1,600 people. The pastor here at Kingsley United Methodist Church says her sanctuary became a sanctuary for more than just the congregation.
I did 2 of the services for the youth, and out of the 3, and I don't ever want to do them again.
This was the first time in my career where there was a day I broke down crying at home. It just became too much to deal with.
It's been hard on the teachers, too. They're the ones who see the students every day, until suddenly they don't.
They really haven't had time, to grieve, to deal with their own emotions. They're expected to be right back in front of kids the next day with a smiling face, to be supportive.
It's been probably one of the hardest years for me and our staff working in education. Grief and loss. There's just a lot of heavy things sitting on our whole community.
Every day is heavy for Bill and Melissa Stone as they look back on Caden's life and the joy he brought to his family.
Even, 8 months later, I still can't come up with a word that truly articulates the pain. You can put on a smile, and I can speak with people, but it doesn't tell the story about what's going on internally.
There's also a worry under the surface in Kingsley that there could still be a next time.
When I've spoken with parents, just in general, there's a fear about, could it be my kid? Am I missing something?
One young woman who was suffering with anger and anxiety and a host of other feelings says it could have been her.
Just a bunch of, emotional scars from the past just coming to light that I kind of held down for so long. And it all just kind of fell apart.
There is so much more to say about how this community has moved towards healing over the past year. We will continue our special report with part 2 of Moving Forward tonight on 9 and 10 News at 11. We'll be right back.